Warning: the following program contains clothing items from Terry Wallace's wardrobe.
Magnificent to have you. The team's all here. Huge show coming up tonight. The one and the only Sam Kekovich to join us on the show. Yeah, massive. Sam Kekovich, giant of the game, no matter which way you look at it. Darren Goldsmith's going. Umpiring's a big issue.
Oh, I like your style.
Darren, there's the multi, there's the last shot, there's a load to get through.
What are you doing? What is that?
The jumper?
Yes.
Well, it worked so well for Terry last week. I just wanted a bit of that action. It was magnificent for Plough. I like it.
Where'd you get it?
That little Chapel Street store that Plough was talking about last week.
Some say it was imported from Italy.
I believe that's
some say it was deported from Italy. For those who didn't see last week's show, we've spent a lot of time rehearsing and honing material. Well, that might be an overstatement. Yeah. But then Terry Wallace goes and wears this jumper and the whole internet blows up. What is going on?
I like it.
There it is.
Well, Terry couldn't pull it off. You're not pulling it off tonight. I should mention, too, that Terry Wallace has been kicked out of the Hall of Fame for that. So...
You think it makes my boobs look a bit big?
OK, let's start this entire show again, shall we?
It does. Oh, we've got a big show.
What do we do? We can pixelate that.
There's a big show. Look a bit gutsy in it, too. I don't know how Terry made it look so good last week. I'm not sure about this idea anyway.
Can I just say, if there's one person who shouldn't be worried about how they look...
It's probably me.
Just move on, mate.
Particularly after last night, because let's be honest, we're all a bit bleary-eyed and a bit slow today.
Did we all stay up and watch the game, yeah? I think I speak for everyone when I say they let themselves down, they let their country down.
Talking about the Socceroos, of course, at midnight tonight. Yeah,
Socceroos, what's wrong with that?
They lost, of course, 2-0. No goals in two halves of football. Sure, Carlton can do that in one half, but we did score in the thing. Can I just say one thing about this? That there is, I want to be try to be positive about that.
Sure.
I love the World Game. Daniel Arzani is the future. The 19-year-old. He's going to be fine, Mickey. And people are saying he is so young that Donald Trump wants to separate him from his parents. No, he is young with a big future. So don't worry, we'll be fine.
And there's a few others coming down the pipe, I'm told, reliably by people inside the game. So if you're a lover of the round ball game in Australia's...
I just can't take anything you say seriously.
I can't
Get on with it.
I can't stop touching myself. The big story... The big story...
And that's unusual in what way?
The big story in footy this week, and there are a few of them, was clearly Jeremy Cameron, wasn't it? The incident with the Brisbane Lions, 5 weeks for this contact on Harris Andrews and the Brisbane Lions. It's not the first time Cameron's been involved in an incident like this. He's clearly got to moderate his behaviour. And look, let's be honest, the concern that the football world has for Harris Andrews is obvious. The kid had some bleeding on the brain and he deteriorated for the couple of days after it. He's stabilised since then and he's back and upright. So everything's OK. But it was a terrible incident.
It's like to say, when Alex Rance takes a dive, everyone gets into him, and then all of a sudden, with Harris Andrews, nothing.
Oh, Terry, come on now. No, that's...
What is wrong?
He gets a free pass somehow.
That was unbelievable. I was watching it too, and I just want to say that the Brisbane Lions players, they were great. Luke Hodge was going to run in and remonstrate, but he just didn't know who Harris Andrews was. So that's his defence for Luke Hodge, by the way.
The good thing is that Harris Andrews is OK and will obviously... Yeah,
absolutely.
You want... If a player chooses to go and, if a player chooses to do what Harris Andrews did, there should be some protections afforded him in the game, and we can't allow people to be going into contests like that with their forearms raised.
That would mean a lot.
You make a good point.
It's a fitting tribute, which would have meant a lot more if Harris Andrews was actually conscious right now. Can I just...
the sad thing is this could cost Brisbane 17th spot on the ladder.
Deary me. Really...
Seeing the footage and all the debate about it during the week, though, Murray, it did make us think about where it stands in the pantheon of great elbows.
Great in
now, in the modern
inverted commas,
era,
yeah.
the definitive elbow has always been pluggers up at the SCG on Peter Caven.
Yeah, true.
This is the one. This is where, you know, the standard has always been set.
Whee!
Now, compare that after Jeremy Cameron, that looks like a jumper punch now. Things have changed.
The Jeremy Cameron one looks worse than that.
Don't you think, Murray?
Oh, you know what? I didn't, because I hadn't seen that until today. I hadn't seen that for ages until today, and I used to think that was about the most brutal thing I'd ever seen in footy. But you compare the Cameron one to it, and the Cameron one's not that far away, I don't reckon.
No.
They're a lot closer than you think.
And they're not all as brutal as that either. I mean, in the old days, some of the elbows were quite playful. Well, have a look. Some of these are quite cute.
So there's Mickey
Almost
Werner.
adorable.
Yeah, there you go. Adorable.
Just a little drive-by. And
Right there.
Peter German.
Monkey.
Yep.
This one here.
BT.
Andrew Purser. This is good stuff.
Look at the cheeky one there from behind.
That's one in the
Buckley.
ribs.
You like
That's
this
it.
one though, Mickey?
This is my favourite. Up. He's had to get the stool out. Go up.
Yeah, you're right. I think there was something a bit cute about some of those, wasn't there?
Yeah. Clearly, for me, the most controversial moment of the match, though, occurred immediately after the game, during the post-match interview on the ground. Have a look. Here goes the interview, and keep your eye on the groundskeeper. He is not happy about this interview taking place where and when it is. Have a look at him. What the hell? Oh, man.
Look at him, Mickey.
There he's like, come on! So, I'm not sure what his job is. I think it's putting out the chalk outline of Harris Andrews.
Look at him, Mickey.
Look out, get out, you idiots.
Hey, that game of bridge is not going to play itself, you know what I mean? He's got to get home.
Elbows have been, they've been a hot topic, haven't they, for a long time?
I wanted to say that my favourite one, and we'll move on after this, but my favourite ever elbow is still Barry Hall's, and we showed it when he was on the show. But it's just the subtle aspect of this one where he just throws them up. He puts them up there, Mickey. It's a threat, but it's almost childlike. It's almost childlike where he says, I'm going to put them up, and if you run into them, that's your fault, Mickey. Hey, I'm just there. Whoa!
It's like, you know, when kids say, stop punching yourself. Stop punching yourself. Oh, I love it.
The other big talking point during the week was the Adelaide Footy Club, and they've made a rod for their own back with this kind of collective minds thing, the pre-season camp, and there have been so many stories rolling out of Adelaide about the collective minds.
If you touch yourself again, I'm going to call this show off.
I'm starting to distract myself. And, of course, they called the press conference at 3 o'clock on Saturday to announce that the relationship with Collective Minds was over.
They're getting rid of Collective Minds and hiring the Taliban? is that how it's...
I don't think. I don't think they're going down that road, Michael. No.
There was lots of mystery surrounding Collective Minds.
A lot of mystery.
Exactly what they are and their qualifications. But lucky the football manager, Brett Burton, was there to clear it all up.
So, Brett, what due diligence was done before the club signed Collective Mind? Like, did you see if they had, backgrounds in psychology or what their sort of background was?
So let's be really clear. These guys are not psychologists. They never profess to be psychologists. They're mental skills coaches.
That's great.
Well, that clears everything up, doesn't it?
Dealing with millions, like hundreds of millions of dollars worth of football flesh, and you're putting him in the hands of those blokes.
I like it. And the other important thing that needed to be addressed was some of the wild accusations about what transpired on the pre-season camp. And luckily Don Pike was on hand to clear that up as well.
So let's clear the air. Were any players stripped on this camp?
No.
Were any players blindfolded?
Well, there was blindfolding for a bus trip.
Right. Yeah, I'm okay with that as long as it wasn't the bus driver who was blindfolded. Then you go for your life.
So all the players were blindfolded.
Blindfold, no worries. Go
the Richmond theme song was repeatedly played.
That's
Is that right? Yeah. Now that sounds pretty brutal to put through that.
Absolutely.
But once again, Brett Burton cleared it up.
The guys that were on that bus to talk about how funny it was, because there was a guy that was singing the Richmond song. So, it's everything taken out of context can sound a bit weird, but when you're there, it's pretty normal.
It's completely normal. It's completely normal to be blindfolded on a bus with the Richmond theme song playing, especially if it's you.
It's all fine. If you're at a Bucks party...
Like
Not in a pre-season camp.
Collective Minds have called and they want 22 of your jumpers for the next thing. That would be... There's something to put some players through.
Hey, I reckon you can tell a lot by how a club's travelling, just by the demeanour of the coach, you know, in press conference type arrangements. And Nathan Buckley, I mean, Collingwood are flying at the moment, and Nathan Buckley, he's in ripping form at the moment.
Well, you know what I like about Bucks though? He's never not coaching.
That's a good
point.
point.
I mean, he is on. It's like when he's at a press conference and he sees a young journo with paint on his hands. He will coach him onto how the best way is to remove that paint.
There you go, mate. Good. Been doing some painting, mate. Is that white out?
They had some paint this morning, yeah. Awful paint, I've got to try.
Heard of methylated spirits? Metho is good. It's good, yeah. Or turpentine. Ask your dad.
He's in form. He's in the top of his game at the moment.
Last year he thought he was going to get sacked, so he got a job at Bunnings over summer and worked out.
How good is it to hear the word turpentine in the modern day, Murray? Isn't it good?
Haven't heard the word turpentine since 1911 in AFL or VFL
Last
ranks.
time I heard that, it was paired with the word Brill cream.
No one in the room is old enough to remember Brill cream.
Apart from you.
Yeah.
I remember that.
There he is. Some of them are wearing it. Jeez, good Lord. Hey, you can always tell where a coach is on the ladder too by his demeanour at a post-match press conference. Yep. So have a listen. Here's Damien Hardwick, top of the ladder, talking about his chair.
Good chair.
And here's Stuart Dew. Guess where he's on the ladder?
Poxy chair.
Just so we're all clear, Bucks will be able to tell him how to fix that.
Hey, it's a good segment when you've had the words turpentine and poxy both used in the
Also, in some good news too, the AFL has decided that Gold Coast will be getting a priority chair from. They're going to write that wrong, mate.
Don't go anywhere.
Yes.
When we come back, a man who transcends the game.
Guy.
He really does. Don't go anywhere. After this, Sam Kekovich to join us right here. Really fresh Carlton draft.
All good?
Bloody Andy Marr, that is my look.
Don't miss Thursday Night Football as the Tigers host the Swans at Etihad in a season-shaping clash. The Tigers train keeps rolling, but away from the MCG against a fearless Swans outfit could be just the test the Tigers need to kickstart their back-to-back ambitions. With a top two finish on the line, this one is sure to be a bruising encounter. Thursday Night Football, live and free on 7.
It's a great place.
Fine.
Welcome back to the show. It is the front bar. Thanks to Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft, the number one tap beer in Australia.
We did our grand final shows from that.
We have done. It's been a great place.
Assembly,
Fantastic place. The General Assembly, of course, is the name of it. You should get down there if you're coming to town. Don't know where the show's going to go in a moment. Our special guest standing by, not too far
Coming
away.
up.
Make sure you get involved in the program. There's any number of...
Wait till you introduce Sam.
Any number of ways you can get involved in the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sam Kekovich.
There he is.
You cannot be directed.
It's going to be a wasted night, Mick, for
Well, you look like you're in your natural habitat there, standing behind the bar, beer in hand.
I don't assume that I'm a drip trade, no. It's not my long suit.
You're a good man.
We'll get back to Sam. We're happy. We're delighted to have you on the show. Just got to do a bit before we get to
Okay, no, I'm fine. I just thought you might have overlooked me. That's
No. It's all part of the plan. It's all part of the plan.
I'm just warning you, I may not be able to get through the night.
I don't think you will be.
I love that man.
Sam, can I ask, what do you think of his jumper?
Am I compelled to respond?
Don't.
So you got to look a bit breasty in it? Or
not? Mate.
Move on, right. Don't answer that. Hey, cricket commentary. As we say every week, we're getting a week closer to the launch of cricket here on Channel 7. There's a lot of Channel 7 commentators who are footy commentators who are shamelessly putting their name up in front of the selectors.
Yes, it's a cracker. No, I always describe the Channel 7 stable as an embarrassment of riches.
Hey, great news this week, by the way. Michael Slater, of course, has joined
Slats.
Slats, as we like to call him.
He's great.
Well done. Great to have Slats on board. It's going to be massive.
Brings a lot of energy and knowledge to the chair. He'll be a gun.
Like I said, an embarrassment of riches. You'll of course, Andy, you'll be playing your normal hard to get. They'll be very hard to get you. Now, Bruce McAvaney, of course, everyone assumes that he's straight in.
Well, you have to. He's like a Richie Beno type.
He's batting at number 3
of the tree.
I agree. The only thing.
How long's this segment go?
Mate, we're going to do...
Sorry, Mick.
Mate, don't make me go and get the rodeo clowns. We're going to have to corral you into this.
Sam, you'll love this. You'll love this. So Bruce McAvaney, is he in or not? I think he is. But to be honest, I think he's getting a little bit impatient.
Really?
And a little bit testy. Have a listen to him describe the potential of Chad Wingard on the weekend.
This bloke's a tease. This bloke could be anything, I reckon. But he's not.
Jeez.
Steady on, Bruce.
Jeez. If I know we're talking about Channel 7, but if we wanted to look outside, the Fox Footy, over at Fox Footy, Nick Riewoldt, a breath of fresh air with his honesty. Here he is on the weekend, pre-game on Saturday, answering the question whether Carlton would be up for, trying some rough stuff against Collingwood on the weekend.
Physical stuff like Friday night, can they do that sort of thing that we saw from Melbourne?
That requires no talent at all, Hutto, so that's absolutely in Carlton's wheelhouse.
It's actually very hard to argue with that, by the way, Murray.
And let me tell you, that's a very big wheelhouse.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen,
I introduce our surprise special guest? You'll have no idea who's standing behind the bar right now.
Who is it, Mickey?
It is Samuel Kagaman! Great to have you on board, sir.
Magnificent, sir.
Thank you.
We've been trying to get you on for a long time.
There'll be some, not a lot, there'll be some people in the audience who are maybe a bit too young to have seen you play your footy. I mean, you're a magnificent footballer, a career that probably didn't have as many games in as it should have. Your body let you down, but you could do anything as a footballer.
Look at this.
You were powerful, you were fast, you were versatile, you're aggressive.
On the ball, key position player, a bit of a nasty customer too, I might say, as well as being very skillful.
Can I take this home with me?
well, you may as well. You bought it in. Here he comes, look.
Now, what you agree with all that, Sam?
Well, there's very little to argue against.
Look at that, he's dobbing him on the run from outside 50.
I meant to say the graphic evidence is fairly compelling.
How would you have described yourself as a player?
God, with obvious humility, it's very difficult. I mean, manifest modesty will preclude me elaborating in detail, but I think you summed that up pretty well.
What about the...
What more can you say?
No, it's good. What
do you think, audience?
Sam.
Very easy to respond.
Sam? Don't turn it into a rally, Sam. It's all right. What about in the modern day, though, Sam? Is there a player in the modern day that reminds you of yourself?
Well, someone had the temerity of suggesting that Pepper from Port Adelaide.
Pal Pepper.
Really? Resembled a bit of me with my strength.
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him, but you guys might be able to...
No, you've got him covered.
Yeah. I've got him covered for skill, obviously, but...
Well,
I guess you're looking at an overall package, Mick.
That's right. You've got him covered.
There'd be very few around.
Dusty or Dangerfield?
Yeah.
Both of them?
You're in the right bracket.
We mentioned your skill, but you're also a very powerful man and occasionally a prickly pear, if I can use that word.
Dichotomy coming into play.
There is. Let's have a look at some of the impact you made on opposition players. And I love this stuff. This stuff. There's a little how do you do?
What was it?
Again, it's a big body we've got there. They all seem to be angry with you for some reason, Sam.
Got no idea. Must be kryptonite.
Look at that. Bang!
How can you hit Francis Burke?
Yeah, I'm not overly proud of that, St. Francis.
What about Don Scott?
Yeah, well, Don probably deserved a few more. A nice guy, by the way, I must confess.
Yes.
They're a gentleman, Donny, but a different guy on the field, believe me.
A different guy on the field.
We have a segment on the show. It's one of our favourites, Sam, and it's called Fresh from the Archives.
Be riveting stuff. I've never seen it.
Well,
we, of course, for the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft, we like to dig things out of the Channel 7 archives and just go down memory lane and relive. And we've actually dug out something regarding the great Sam Kekovich, Mick.
Well, I've gone and had a rummage down in the archives, Sam, and found this nude photo. And I want to ask you, that's the front cover of The Truth in 1974, and the inside, I believe you will find,
this is the one, isn't it?
First nude pin-up of an AFL/VFL player. Correct?
I think so, yeah, I think you're right.
Correct.
Can you talk us through that, Sam? How did you get...
Well...
Didn't seem overly natural.
I think the girls, that's a thumbs up, isn't it?
Well, thumb's probably the right word.
I think what a lot of people...
Did they ask you to do that, Sam? Truth came to you and asked?
They did, but my motivation behind it, this will be interesting. And I've got to be implicitly candid with you. I couldn't possibly feed you any crap. But in those days, as you know, we were paid very, very little.
Yes.
You know, just mere scraps. We'd rummage around the grassroots to find a few mere morsels. And it all meant a very mere salary. I thought by doing something like that would certainly help. And not only that, but I was also involved in some volatile investment portfolios that needed to be settled every Friday.
That needed to be settled every Friday.
Well, Mick, coming from Richmond, I think you've got an idea of what I'm getting to.
I think I'm in the same portfolio as we speak.
Well, in those days, you know...
That would have been shocking in those days, wouldn't it? What kind of stir did that cause back in the day?
Well, not only the stir. My parents, they were absolutely shocked to think of their son, who was raised on very good principles and, you know, values, would have the temerity of bearing all. Not quite all, but if they had have asked, I think I might have gone...
Well, Sam, can I
Kids
just...
today would have no idea how much trouble you used to have to go to in those days for a good dick pic.
What annoys me more than anything, though, Mick...
Yes.
What has happened
the
in the
anatomical evidence is fairly compelling. I wouldn't have minded revealing a lot. Would have put a few back in their boxes.
Sam, can I just say, by the way, you're not the only giant of the footy world to pose nude. Someone on this panel, and thankfully it's not Andy, has also done it, by the way. Have a look at this. Now,
see what the same-sex vote got up.
Sam,
you know what?
What?
So you go.
After that photo shoot, Sam, that Sharon was destroyed, and then taken to an STD clinic. So there you go. That is a...
What is wrong with you?
Why would you do that?
Well, hey, I have to say, Sam, the camera adds £10. In my case, mostly around the chin. So,
hey, Sam, there's a lot we want to talk to you
about. Are you going to come over here?
Tim might come over. Sam Kekovich's going to come over. There's a whole lot more to talk to the great man about after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. It is the front bar. Thanks to the Brewery Fresh Carlton Draft, the number one tap there in Australia. Sam Kekovich, our very, very, very special guest.
Feels right to have you at the desk with us, sir. And can I just...
I've got to say, I feel quite comfortable here. I don't know if management's watching, but a couple of you'd feel fairly uneasy on it.
Any time on the way. Can I ask you this? We saw highlights, but let's go back to the beginning. Was it always going to be North Melbourne? How did you end up at North?
Just
Sam?
quickly, I'm a great story in that regard because I was going to Carlton. My brother had gone to Carlton the year before, and I was automatically going to Carlton. I'd been signed to Carlton. But overnight, a wonderful initiative got introduced by the VFL called zoning. And the worst performed VFL side acquired the best performed country zone, which was in those days the Ovens of Murray, which I played for Myrtleford. So all of a sudden, instead of finding my way to Princes Park, where I would have ruck roved to John Nichols, probably would have won about 4 Brownlows and 8 premierships, I found my way to Arden Street. which was bereft of any trinkets in the
You were doing all the
showcase.
heavy lifting over there, weren't you?
Well, I kept them alive for 10 years, but anyhow, apart from that...
You know what I love, Sam? You talk about zoning. I miss the old days as a Carlton supporter. I miss the old days of zoning because Carlton zone was Carlton, Bendigo, and then we had South Australia and Western Australia. I really like those days.
And then you had the ANZ Bank, the Quiver Bank, and all the other...
Tigers had Mildura. I remember we had a lot of very good talent.
They were all good. But that was interesting, so, but look, can I honestly say that I've had no regrets. North Melbourne was a wonderful journey and a wonderful story, some great friends, and to be able to be involved with guys like Mantello, Aylett, Ron Joseph, Cheatley, a host, and some wonderful, wonderful players. You all know the superstar, but you don't know guys like Ross Henshaw, Frankie Gumbleton, Kenny Montgomery. You all know, but we don't often talk about
that's a good point.
But they were superstar players in their own right. We all know the Cables, the Wades, the Rantels, the Kekoviches, but you don't know the very back part of the side.
Sam, you're only on the show because they all pulled out. Don't worry.
Hey, you talk about getting a north when they were, they were bereft as opposed to the other mob you could have gone to. Well, it was about to change, wasn't it? And the 10-year rule, kind of like the first real sniff of free agency came in, and in '74 you got close. You were in the end poleaxed by Richmond.
Tigers.
Well, they took you apart in the grand final, but great things weren't too far away.
You had a quiet one, didn't you?
I did have a quiet one, yes.
Yeah.
And Ronald Dale,
much to my chagrin.
He's working his way through the group here, and he's working his way up to something, I reckon. What was he like post-game here, Ron Barassi? What was
well,
he like?
I don't know if you've ever been involved in something of this magnitude, a loss of this magnitude. But if you lose a grand final in Melbourne, let me tell you, it's the longest 6 months in your life. But the night of a revelry, or so-called revelry, that took place at the Southern Cross that very night, which is when players relax, have a beer, and, you know, you're acknowledged for having a fairly good year. We just fell short, but, hey, things are going to get better. No. He tipped a tirade of invective and unbridled abuse that you would just... And if there was any HR there, let me tell you, we all would have sued him. But we were like obsequious sycophants. They're just arse lickers, as you know. And we just sat there like meerkats.
Never look at me when you say that again.
No, I didn't. And we just sat there like meek and mild cats and just absorbed it. Okay. And he was so right, you know, and he was relentless.
He's a frightening man.
He's relentless. Oh, he's the most terrifying individual I've ever met, and the greatest coach. And you would never pick him. He's just got that sixth sense. When he walks into a room or says something, people just gravitate to him, and you feel that little chill down your spine. You know what it's like when you... So just give you a little flick.
We know what you mean.
But it was.
Andy's jumper's giving me that sense right now.
But you all know, you know, who would have thought St Kilda in '66 or that, you know, or when they lost the grand final, that redemption would be 20 years later, or 30, 40 years, 50 years. Yeah. We were so lucky that redemption was swift in '75, where we acknowledged and, you know, things were all...
Yep.
Well, you talked about Barras and the massive spray that he gave you after '74. It's great that that's anecdotal validation, but we've actually got I just threw that in for you, Sam. But we've actually got the idea that you'd have on film Ron Barassi in the early '80s up at the SCG, just actually proving how fiery he was.
Hello, Haley off, Ellingworth on. Bloody weakest piss.
That would be tame, wouldn't it, Sam?
Well, see, he's mellowed by then. Plus, that phone was Optus, I think. It was an Optus line.
Imagine if it was the wrong number. You'd be...
So you talk about the spray you get after '74. It led to the redemption that you talked about in '75. You got over the top of Hawthorn, the club's first ever premiership. You were magnificent. You were barnstorming. You set the foundation early. You kicked the goal. You had 22, 23, 24 touches. You were a force of nature yourself that day. And there was something about this North Melbourne team that just wasn't going to be denied that year, wasn't there, Sam?
No, there was. We had this manic obsession that, you know, we weren't going to go through it again. And the irony of it all was we could always get over Hawthorn, but we struggled against Richmond, ironically enough.
Yep.
Because Barras was always of the opinion that we could always match Hawthorn's physicality, and our superior skill would win out at some stage of the game. But the Tigers, they were always thereabouts, up and about.
Here's a great shot. You and Don Scott, after the game, exchanging jumpers. That's a touching sight. It doesn't happen off anymore, but that you just by the by. And as you said, fierce competitor. Off the field, but a good friend. On the field, but a good friend off it.
Yeah, my word.
And you took that jumper home?
I did. I haven't had a look for it well. Come on, get to your treachery, guy.
No.
I know this is going to lead me down to it.
No
treachery. You've never seen that jumper again, Sam?
Well, no, I haven't not had it.
I wanted to...
Well, he tells us... No, I'll tell the story again.
Well, would you like to?
I don't mind.
Well, do you want to do it?
Well, you think it's a treasured bit of memorabilia, and I do, and I respect Don Scott immensely. But, you know, I've had a fairly extensive wardrobe with a lot of European numbers in there. Now, why would I keep a shitty Hawthorn jumper in there? In all due respect. So, honestly, Don said, you know, I've still got the Sam Kekovich's North Melbourne jumper. I thought he would have kept mine. And he just happened to walk down Toorak Road and he saw a nice lady dressed in it, wearing it down Toorak. How embarrassing is that?
Well,
so I must have given it to a charity somewhere.
Yeah. Of course. It's not there.
Can I?
Who else?
No, it's of course.
Can I ask
Makes
you
sense.
this? Can I ask you the 1975 premiership, which we've just talked about?
History.
History. First ever, the club's first ever premiership. The team photo is taken next day, Sam, and here it is. If we have a look at it here, it's a magnificent moment in the history of the club. If we look closely, absent Sam Kekovich down there. Now, I've got two questions for you, Sam. Where were you? And why did the club decide to have the premiership photo the next day after a grand final? That seems
What were
weird.
they thinking?
You're breaking up, but...
What happened?
Clear error in judgment. Let me tell you, sometimes you make good choices, bad choices. I, unfortunately, made a very bad choice. And I must confess to this day, the regret that I have more than anything is missing North Melbourne's most treasured piece of memorabilia. Because if anyone's been in the North Melbourne Social Club in the 70s, emblazoned on the wall of our dining room, well, do you remember?
A mural.
The words of the prophetic hot gospeler Alan Killigrew. The 20 players that bring home North Melbourne's first ever premiership will gain football immortality.
Right.
Which meant nothing to me when I arrived at North Melbourne. Because that's how far away it was.
Yes.
So when we actually got there, and now it means a heck of a lot.
Yeah.
And I think, gee, missing that photo...
Well, I'll tell you what we've done. Because of modern technology...
Your benevolence and altruism actually confounds me.
We've done this for you, Sam. Modern technology allows you to Photoshop someone these days into a
Superimpose
photo
it, yeah.
as if they were there. We've done it. See if you can even... It's seamless. See if you can pick the join as we put you into the photo. Now...
Finally.
I mean, you wouldn't know.
Oh, that's amazing.
We'd like to give you that.
Here it is, Sam. That's for you, sir. That's for you. That's for
Sam,
you. You're finally in the photo, Sam.
It's like the old Herald Sun spot the ball competition, isn't it?
Sam, while you ruminate on that and have a think about it...
Stick around. You're not going anywhere.
We're going to talk umpires on the other... The big talking point, they always are at some stage this season. They are now. And we're going to get a bloke in who's been there and done it. Darren Goldsmith to join us when we come back.
Thanks. Oh, that's a pleasure, mate.
Welcome back to the show. It is the front bar. Sam Kekovich, our very special guest. There comes a time every year, boys, when umpires become the spotlight and a big story, and feels like it's happened again. They've been trialling the 4 umpires, and there were some inconsistencies across the weekend that people are keen to talk about. There was an incident on the weekend. I'd like to get your thoughts on this, Sam, whether you agree with the way the umpires handled the melee that broke out at the MCG on Sunday between Carlton and Collingwood.
Get out! Go in! Take it away!
Tell the umpires to back off.
Let it go!
Dale should be able to pay a free kick here.
Never listen to the umpires, Hannah. Just tell the umpires to back off and let them sort it out.
So they're kind of corralling the group of players. They're here and there with their chirp. Players get
It was very chirpy, wasn't it? There was a lot of umpires shrieking at players. What's your memory in your day? Obviously, there were less umpires. What's your memory of interacting with the umpires?
Well, Look, the world's a different landscape these days. In our day, there was no such thing as a melee. It would have been resolved minutes ago. But it's a clear example of what's wrong with the whole country. It's a reflection of the country. It's a lack of leadership, lack of authority, and, well...
Are you blaming that on the umpires? That's a first.
Well, no one wants to hear the real truth. But we overdose on tolerance and political correctness and...
Different back in your day, Sam. The umpires were not afraid to get involved.
No, they do.
They come straight up to you.
He's reading you.
But they also had a very good rapport with the umpires. Had a very good rapport with their players.
Well, that's obvious there. Look, the goal umpires even come down the ground to sort things out.
He's run 60.
He's a long way from home. Look at that guy.
65 metres he's run to get involved in this.
If you ran the ball down there quickly and had a shot, he would tell you if it was a goal or not.
It's a long way.
So typical of Sheedy there again, under
So they're a big talking point, umpires.
They are. There's a lot to ask them. Why don't we ask them directly? So we've brought a former umpire in today. Make him welcome in the usual fashion, please. Darren Goldspeak!
So, do you reckon you might be able to have a proper welcome? Just once?
I wouldn't have thought so.
You reckon?
You wanted
just a small clap?
A small clap, do it. But surely when you hear those boos, you must get teary and...
Brings back a lot of memories.
Brings back a lot of memories.
371 games, 6-time grand final umpire, 3 times All-Australian umpire. I mean, your career is, in terms of being decorated, it's one of the great careers in the umpiring ranks. A couple of things we want to talk to you about. And one of the big talking points has been touching of umpires this year. I'm sure you've been an interested observer in all this. Have we gone a bit too far in terms of the relationship between players and umpires and making sure that this is...
Yeah, look, I think it's probably fair to say that might have gone a little bit too far, particularly when the umpires can't recall anything happening during the game. It's usually a pretty good indication that, they don't... I don't think any of them would feel threatened with anything, that sort of stuff that happened.
Do you ever remember being threatened? Do you remember a player making contact with you?
No, if I said no, you're probably going to show me something that would contradict what I said.
So you've seen the show before then?
No, once or twice.
Right. Any one that sort of immediately springs to mind?
I think probably round 11, 1989
That'd be
at
the one.
Carrara. Would that be the one?
Shall we have a look at it?
Absolutely.
This is Stephen O'Dwyer, Straubs.
Do it.
Cops run from Schenko, bang.
So he knocks down Gary Lyon.
Gary Lyon.
Went down a bit softly, I reckon, to be honest.
Probably fair enough to say I missed that report.
Yeah. Peter Cameron didn't. So it all goes on here.
Now have a look at this. Have a look at Straubs grab you,
There you are,
from... Whoa!
Look, watch the back of your neck here.
He's got you like a ventriloquist doll there.
The bruises have only just cleared after 20 years.
So did you feel...
What would you get for that today? That would be...
No, look,
probably never play
as you could probably tell from my reaction, I did realise that he had grabbed me, but, having a look at it again, it was probably a little bit more than I thought it was at the time.
Bit over the top.
But, having said that, probably he would never have played again after that.
And what about talking to players? So we've seen Razor Ray lately speaking to the players like they're 3-year-olds. I'll play a clip of him talking to Sean Grigg.
You need to calm down. Blood rule. Thank you. Just relax. Okay? We don't talk. We don't talk to one another like that. Right? It's okay.
It's like it's about to send him to the naughty corner. So, what happened in your day? What was the type of rapport that the players and umpires would have had?
I think it was probably fair to say that we might have handled it slightly differently back in the day.
It's like a parent-teacher night, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we might have handled it a bit differently.
Well, I've got an example of umpires chatting to players. Let's have a look.
And 50. And 50. Let's listen to this explanation. Bassett was a free and then you just drove his head into the ground, okay?
Shit.
No, it's no shit, mate. It's fair income.
Yeah.
Like that, mate.
What's that, mate?
That's more like it.
The Australian vernacular.
Hey, look everyone, the adults are talking all
I
of a
think
sudden.
that was fairly succinct, wasn't it?
No one was left in any doubt as to what was being thought.
Did you get in trouble? Do you get a please explain, or in terms of from the umpiring department or football department?
Yeah, towards the end of my career, they seemed to be more focused on what I said than what I did.
All right.
Which was,
frustrate you a bit?
Yeah, it did, because I prided myself on the decisions I could make, and I got most of them right. I think I can only really remember one error back in 1997, and it stuck with me for quite a number of years. But apart from that, and look, to be fair, I probably said things that I shouldn't have said. If microphones were back,
yes, you did
around back in those days, I might have only done 7 or 8 games, probably.
Well, and that would have been a tragedy. But Darren, I wanted to say you were Darren. You were part of the. You were an umpire for so long. You were there when when the mics were first introduced. And it'd be fair to say that I don't know how umpires in general felt about being mic'd up, but they did capture everything. And here's you with a bounce that didn't go exactly to plan.
Ah, you bitch.
Wow. It's a different day. It's a different time,
Darren, you really cared about your bounces, didn't you?
Can you be sure that that's my voice, though?
Oh, that's a good point.
That's a good point, yeah.
No, I think it was, though.
Yeah.
Hey, now I have to ask this before you go, because I'm fascinated by life after football for umpires. Are you in some kind of witness protection scheme, or do people still recognise you when you go out? If you're out and about or down the street, does someone still go round 22?
Yeah, look, I only just started putting the bins out at daylight because for quite a number of years I had to put them out in the dark and that sort of thing so people wouldn't see me.
They become accountants after a while.
Parking officers.
Like that, you're up there with that. So have you been harassed?
Yeah, look, I did get harassed once in Coles. I went shopping on one Sunday afternoon just by myself and I had pushing my trolley up and down the aisle, and there was a Hawthorn supporter coming towards me and he gave me a bit of a serve, and then I went down and around the next aisle and he came back the other way and had another crack at me, and we went right down the whole of Coles, and he had 14 cracks at me because it was 14 eyes.
You ended up in the 8 insults or less lane.
Sam, we're always trying to get it better, aren't we? We're always trying to improve, and we've got 4 umpires at the moment. They're giving that a go. How many when you started? Was it just the one?
Yeah, 1, then 2.
And was it a better game back in those days?
Well, it was a slower game. I think I could keep up with it. But look, at the end of the day, I think it was a simple principle. The game's played on instinct and reflex. And if you're protecting the guy making the play, I think you're a long way home to adjudicating it correctly. But the tragedy is the reflection on our society. We play the parasite, we recognise the mediocrity, we're appeasing the lowest denominator instead of raising the bar. Where else would I go? I could turn this into a political segment for an hour.
No,
but I don't. We don't want to do that.
You could, but it'll be our last show.
Yeah. You make really good points, by the way, but without all those things, we wouldn't have a show. Remember that. The umpire, they're trialling...
They do a great job.
They're about to trial 4 in a game, right?
Yeah. Well, they're doing it. Yeah.
They're trialling 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I know we're always about making the game better, Mario.
Of course we are,
Sam. So, speaking of trials and umpires' trials, this one back in 1996, they tried umpire cam, Sam, and it was very high-tech back then. As you can see, this was in a pre-season game in 1996, Brisbane versus Fremantle, Mickey.
You aware of this goal speak?
Yeah, look, my understanding was those backpacks only just had a sandwich and a bottle of water in it. Had nothing to do with anything else.
We've come a long way, haven't we?
They weren't even committed to it back then. They had 2 white ones and 1 red one. You reckon if they were committed to it, the AFL back in the day, they would have got at least the same colour on the 3 helmets.
That's your takeaway from watching it.
Well, I still had trouble picking out the obvious free kick.
Hey, I want to thank you, Darren, for coming in. Just to show you that there's no hard feelings, I want to play you some moving footage from the last game you ever umpired, and to see with what kind of affection you were held in by the general public. You leave the ground. Someone's gone to a lot of trouble here to make this sign, and bingo.
Wow.
There he goes.
Do you reckon that could be the last time you show that again?
No.
We put that to bed. At least once a year.
No, I've got one for you tonight to actually leave the studio. So we'll show it to you on the way out, mate.
Darren, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it. Darren Goldsmith, 6-time AFL Grand Final umpire, 371 games, great to have him on. Sam's going to stick around for one more break, mixed multi as well, on the other side of this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the show. Of course, it is the front bar. Sam Kekovich, our very special guest. What a joy it is to have him on the show.
Great to have you.
Wonderful to have you here. One thing, your love of language, Sam, where did it come from?
Well, I tell you what, I've got to be honest with you. I love doing crosswords. Crosswords, my great hobby and great love. So in the early days, I used to do the crosswords, could never get them out. Following day, I'd cheat, look them up. But more importantly, what I would do is I would look up the dictionary, the meaning of the word, and put it in a phrase so it would make sense to me. So over a period of time, instead of telling people I was lying, I was prevaricating. And instead of being stupid, I was asinine. And so, you know, all those little words and trinkets would come back to
Anything to
mind.
describe Andy's jumper?
Insidious.
You want to touch it?
Because I loved listening to you. Everyone knows that, but I think you should have done more commentary, Sam. Because do you have any regret?
No, I don't. I know this game.
You only
How many games?
You commentate. How many games have you commentated of AFL football?
Oh.
On telly.
One is the
on
answer.
telly. No. But I took over K-Rock when Ted Whitten passed away for about 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, but on the television.
On television, only one. Only
Many
one.
people listening to K-Rock wanted EJ dead in the box instead of you. But anyway, that's fine. Sam.
I am not getting caught in crossfire.
I'm not going to respond to that one.
Sam, on TV though, you commentated one game.
One game,
and it was in round 5, 2004, West Coast versus Carlton.
Yes.
I loved it, and at halftime, you proved that you weren't afraid to fill in the viewers on all the big news.
Well, there's some ominous signs weather-wise as some nimbus clouds are rolling in over Optus Oval. And might I just digress for a moment, just small consolation for the Eagles supporters out there. They had an emphatic victory in the Little League, 3-4-22 to the Blues, 1-1-6.
Always there.
No.
Hang on. 1-1 is 7, not 1-1-6.
Once again, that's your takeaway from this.
1-1-7.
Disparagement, demeaning and defiling.
Now,
I loved you as a commentator.
You may have only ever commentated one game at the top level, but at the lower levels, you commentated quite a few.
Yeah.
And you, at Paran, commentated a game that won Sam Pang.
I did have a dubious distinction.
You did have a dubious distinction of watch a young Sam Pang in action being commentated by the great Sam Kekovich.
Great play taken for Paran, in fact, taken by Samuel Pang. Pang further afield, over the pack, and coming across now is Sam Pang. Very exciting player, and that was a fine mark taken by Paran, by Samuel Pang. All the big guns are there. Lucas, Walford, Pang at the back.
I'd like to point out you were lurking down the pack waiting for a cheapie.
No, he was front and square.
Do you remember him?
Barely I never met him in my life.
Did you know that? Were you aware of that? We found that this week.
I didn't. Well, I brought it in, you know that. But, I was just thrilled to be mentioned with the big names of Walford and Lucas. That was all, for me, that was the most important thing.
But
your VFA days were good days, Sam, weren't they?
They were great days, Paran. In fact, I played at Paran myself.
78 grand final.
Indeed so. But you know the rule of thumb when you're commentating, you pick out a handful of names that are most prominent. Then you got a B list in case you get stuck. You know, there's a conundrum or a maelstrom or a vortex. He said, "Pang!"
Pang got you out of a lot of trouble.
Did. He was very good,
Sam. You are very. We're lucky to have you here, but might I say you're very lucky to be here at this particular juncture of the show because it is time for mixed multi.
Oh, here we go.
Good luck.
This is rolled gold.
No, zip from 4 last week.
Don't say it like that, mate. Well, we can only get better.
Yeah.
This is the week. Get on board. Do something stupid. Take a crazy risk.
Take Australia in the
and get on board for the multi. I've got a really good feeling about this. Shall I crank it up? You ready to go? Everyone ready for the multi? Here we go. First up, have a look at this. The Eagles struggled for goals last Friday night, but ruckman Scott Lysette had this golden opportunity. There it is, and no! I would like to wager that Lysette would still get a game at full forward for Carlton.
It's not funny.
It's got some merit.
You can't have it. But how about I give you the Eagles to beat the Crows at the Adelaide Oval and you can have 225.
I'll take it. Let's play our headline into the second leg. Have a look at Greg Norman's latest photo shoot.
Oh, what's he think?
Hello, girls. You started this, by the way. I should point out.
Mate.
There he is with the driver in his hand. And there he is with a toy shark. I would like to wager that Craig Parry never does a shoot like that.
What about John Daly?
Not John Daly.
No.
Long John Daly, as they like to call him.
I think we all hope you're right, but you can't have it. How about you take Tiger, that'd be Tiger Woods, to win the Quicken Loans National this week, and I'll give you $12.
I'll take $12 every day of the week. I love it. Here we go for the big third leg. Have a look at this.
Thinking with this strategic.
Here it is, Ashton Agar. Have a look again. Here we are, the fifth ODI, third. There it is.
Did that cut back?
No, it went straight.
It was a straight agate.
Yeah, it was a
I
straight.
like to wager he never gets charged with ball tampering with his own bat.
No, you can't have it. But
politically incorrect, that.
Give it to me.
No, I'm not going to give it to you, but I'll give you Aussies to rebound. They'll beat the Poms in the first T20, and I'll give you $2.65. What do you reckon?
I'm not happy, no. But I'll take it. Now, you're the reason I get no legs, because I always do what you make me do. If you let me bet on what I wanted to do, we'd all be rolling in it. All right. It blames me. Yeah. All right, you ready for this, big fella? To bring this baby home, check out the action in the Women's Premier League match in Canberra between Belconnen and Canberra FC. Have a look at this kangaroo.
What?
Here it comes, charging up the field.
We'll give him the pill.
Here it comes. And runs the length of the field. Then there's a little bit of a chill down the end. There it is. Here it is. I'd like to wager that kangaroo got more game time than Tim Cahill in the World Cup.
No, you can't have that.
Okay, then I'd like to wager that is the best pitch invasion by an animal since this donkey...
I love it.
Okay. Clearly Simpson lost his way, didn't he?
You got to man up on the donkey, guys. You don't let the donkey run loose inside 50.
You're right. What you say is correct, but I'm not going to let you have it.
What?
But how about you can have the Red Hot Poms to beat Belgium in their final group game, and I'll give you $2.63. What do you reckon?
We taking that?
What do you reckon?
Bang, lock it in.
Lock it in.
We are home.
Ho-ho! Look at that. Bag it up and look what you've got.
188. That's got the look of no legs at all.
If you do have a go, do it responsibly. To get on Mixed Multi, jump on the Sportsbet app, look for Mixed Multi in the Mega Mix.
What about this guy?
Sam.
What about this guy? Thank you.
Thanks for coming on the show.
It's great to have you there.
A giant. A dead-set giant of the Cape, the Sam Kekovich, our very special guest.
Thank you, mate.
When we come back, Mickey's
Legend.
Flash Out. Don't go anywhere. Back after this.
Thank you, mate. Thank you, Sam.
Hey, boys. I love you, mate.
Mickey, we played some highlights.
Look at this, bang!
So that bloke going back with the flight, you're not going to believe it. That is actually Sam Pang. Now, we get another look at this.
Why would you show that?
That was the orchid.
You begged us to show it. What are you talking about?
Look at him. He's groggy.
Look at the replay, though. Have a look at the courage the little man shows. Look at the little master.
He's the little master. The original little master, everyone.
That is, hey.
You know, that's the only time I did that, and I never did it again.
Oh, Timberly to you. Hey, next week's show, been great having Kecker and Goldie on the show this week. David Schwartz going to be on the show next
great story.
Wednesday night. Great man, Ox, after House Rules, of course, about 8:45. So we're looking forward to that. Time now for the last shout. What do you got for us, Mike?
Let me handle this one, fellas. This one's for you, and it's a special one for these guys, everyone at the Carlton Football Club. It's about time there was a good news story out of Carlton. What?
Spit it out. No.
Congratulations.
This is really nice of you.
Yep, to Cade Simpson.
Oh, good on you,
who's
well
having
done.
his 300th game this weekend.
And hey, to you too. That's really
that's very nice of you, mate. Very nice of you.
Really decent.
300 games, but more importantly, now becomes the most losing games by any current player.
How did I not see that coming?
And Cade, may there be many more. I hope you join the 400 club.
To you, Cade Simpson.
Well done and well played, sir. Have a great... Hey, if you had a few more like him, you mightn't be in so much trouble now.
We're not going to go up with a fitting tribute, like some footage of Cade at the end of a game not singing the song?
No, we're not going to do that.
We're not going to do that. Now, what are you going to do? You're going to take that off?
Well, that's it. We're done. I just want to thank Sam Kekovich for coming on the show. This studio audience, Darren Goldsmith's been fantastic. Everybody watching at home, it's been a joy to be part of it again tonight. Enjoy your footy on the weekend. Hopefully...
Oh, no. Hey. We better go.
No,
this is going to get ugly.
No. I'm paying homage to
You're about to see a fight between two guys in Italian knit.